Guys, we have a bonus video for you this week. We've been sent a Haloview BT6 touch observation system that includes what should be a rear view camera and 2 side view cameras. I'm going to install it a little differently. Now, we've been users of Haloview now for a few years because they sent us a system back when we owned our Jayco Eagle travel trailer. And if you're interested in seeing that video, we will put a link up above, and you can check that video out on how I installed it on our travel trailer. But this week, I'm going to be installing this on our Class A motorhome.
All right, so we got a couple things here. We have the Haloview BT6 touch. So this is going to be the rear camera and the screen. And they also sent me, I'm going to assume these are the side cameras. Yep, this is going to be the side cameras. Looks very familiar to what I had before. So I'm going to replace this light with this, along with the side camera. Should be fairly easy to replace these because I can just go up under the hood in here to get to everything. Alright, this is the main box. It's going to have the screen. So this is the new touch screen, the camera and the housing. And I got all the accessories that I had before.
Alright, so I'm laying out my parts here, getting ready for the installation of our new Haloview camera. So I've got everything out of the box. I got the monitor, I got a couple different mounting brackets, I got some wiring, I got antennas, 12 volt plug-in, and a pairing cable, and the camera. So just kind of read through the instructions. I'm getting kind of a game plan together. So recently we were camping at Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, and the site that we had, getting out of the site was really tight. Had to have Allie actually stand up and look over the dash to try to make sure I wasn't going to hit on the front end. Since Haloview sent us this camera system to try out, and we've had their camera system before on our Jayco Eagle in the past, well, that system, we needed a backup camera on it. We didn't have it. It was prepped, and we just installed the backup camera and the turn signal cameras. Well, on this one here, I have an idea that I'm going to try that I've seen nobody else do, and that is, since we have a camera on the back already, it works fine, I'm going to install that camera here on the grill on the front, probably like right in here or maybe right down in here. And it's going to serve as a forward camera so I can see where I'm at. Also, it'll serve as basically a dash cam for recording purposes in case there's ever an accident and we need to have proof of who's at fault. Well, it will record and we will be protected that way. But I mainly want it so I can navigate around in the campgrounds and tight spaces. So we're going to try that first. If it doesn't work out very good, then I will probably just go ahead and take it off of the front and replace it in the back and replace the back camera. I've not seen anybody do this, so I'm curious to see how it would work as a forward camera, a front camera. We will have 360-degree views. Then I'm going to take these markers off, put the side camera markers on here, because we do have side cameras in the mirrors, as you can see right here, and these things are terrible. I'm just saying, they're pretty much useless. Now, granted, I think the biggest issue with these are, even though this camera looks like it's pointing back this way, all I see is basically the side of the RV. I don't see much of the lane next to me at all. And at nighttime, when these kick on, it is like the night vision in them blind off the side of the RV so much that you can't see anything. It's just like a whitewash. Now, granted, I probably can unloosen these Allen keys, turn these mirrors, pivot them around a little bit more. I mean, this is just the way it came from the factory. I never have adjusted them. But you can see I've turned this concave mirror out as far as I can, and it didn't really seem to have any effect on where this camera was viewing. And another thing I don't like about these cameras is on the screen on the inside, when you engage them, if I'm running navigation through CarPlay, I lose that. And there's been times where, you know, you basically are getting off on an exit and CarPlay is telling you, you know, turn here, and then 50 feet later it's telling you to turn right or left, and I can't see it because these cameras take so long to kick back over to CarPlay even once the turn signal is off. So I want to disconnect those. I want to use the ones that Haloview provided and replace these lights with the side marker camera views. They worked great on our trailer before, so I'm assuming they will work great on this too. Only issue I'm worried about is, will they see a lot of this right here, this little molding piece? But we'll try it out and see. And I'm going to try to get this RV set up to where we have 360-degree views. If I don't like the one on the front after I install it, I'll probably come back here and move it back to this one, and that way everything's on the same system. But I only really ever use that for just keeping an eye on the Bronco as we're towing it, or when we get to a campsite. At that point, I you know, will kick over to it so I can see to back in. And obviously, at that point, I don't need CarPlay. I don't need to have my navigation running. All right, so that's going to be the job for this week's video. We want to thank Haloview for sending us this system to try out and to experiment with and try some new things with it. All right, so the first thing I did is I split these wires back, the negative and the positive. This is the wire that will plug into the socket on the back of the camera. So I've just directly wired it to the battery. We're going to see if we can power it up, test it out, get it paired up with the monitor before I go to installing it into the grill here. All right, so first test run, it's powered on, and I actually have a signal on the monitor. So I didn't have to pair anything. It's already paired apparently. And we have power. And this obviously is the new touchscreen. That is the front of the RV. Okay, so for now, I just ran a couple zip ties through here, and I'm going to reconnect it back up in there. I want to see if this looks like a good angle for the front of the RV to allow me to see where I'm going, facing forward. I would say that's pretty good. I can always adjust it up or down a little bit later if I need, but that is pretty good. And okay, I can see the pole for my camera. I want to see just how wide of a view I'm getting here. All right, so I've set the tripod up at the corner of the RV, and it is about 5 feet from the front end of the RV. Let's see if we see that in the monitor. Yes, I can see it very good in the monitor. I know what I'm seeing there is about 5 feet away. Okay, so I did a test run on this side marker light already, just to make sure it worked and just to make sure I was able to pair it up with the touchscreen monitor inside. So I have pulled off the original side marker light, which looks like this little chintzy guy, and I basically cut the wires. I have spliced the wires back in for the actual running lights, and they do work. Everything's working there. I have just pulled the black and the red wire out for the camera because I'm going to run separate wire for that, so it is basically powered on all the time, not just with the running lights. Otherwise you have to have the running lights on to power the camera. This green wire is going to go to the turn signal wiring, which our turn signal is down in here, and there's some wiring underneath there. I will get under there and locate which wire it is that is blinking with the power, and I will tap into that wire with this green wire, and that should trigger this inside on the touchscreen to flip to the corresponding turn signal. I'm actually going to run these wires, like I said, directly to the battery, but I'm going to put a switch in line so I can turn off all these cameras when we're set up at a campground or boondocking, or when it's in the backyard. There's no sense of having parasitic drain on the battery. So I want to put a switch in line just to shut those down. All right, I'm going to wire this up. I'm going to run some wires. I'll splice some wires into here, run them down into the inside, crawl under there, and start wiring things up. All right, so I just mounted the switch right here in the grill, so I can turn it on, turn it off. I'm hoping this switch holds. I don't know if it's real waterproof. I may have to end up getting make sure I have one that's like for a boat. But for now, I'm going to use this and see how it works. But I'm going to wire into that switch next. Cameras are installed. But basically, this is the new touchscreen. It's nice. You just tap on it, and it basically takes you to whatever camera you want. It's a little easier than hitting buttons on the side and scrolling through, so it's much quicker. And most of the time I'm going to keep it in probably quad mode and keep it recording. That way, if there's ever an accident, then I have some recorded proof of just what happened. But we're going to try this out and see how we like having the camera on the front. And if I like it, I'm going to leave it. If I don't like it, I'll probably move the camera to the back. All right, so we've made one trip so far with the Haloview system installed on the Class A here, and I got to say, the side cameras are amazing compared to what we have in these mirrors. Night and day difference. Not even a close. I can see so far into the other lane. The image is clear. Drove with it after dark on our way home. Could see everything perfectly clear in the dark. So definitely happy that I have the side camera upgrade on this over what's already in this RV with those side mirrors. So the front camera, I'm still undecided. It works great where I have it set up, but we haven't really gotten to a tight spot where I could use it, for what I'm thinking that will help navigate around tight spots. So I'm gonna leave it there for at least a few more trips, see what happens. Like I said, our back camera works good. So I'm really happy just having it attached here to the side window. It held really well. No issues with it falling or anything with the suction cup. It's easy, being this close to the steering wheel and my turn signal and everything right here, that I basically keep all three cameras up. That way it's recording all three positions. Like I said, if somebody sideswipes me or something of that nature, it'll be recorded. But if there was a couple times where I was like, there was like some construction and I wanted to see how close I was going to be to like the construction. Well, my door's open right now, so don't go by what you're seeing here. But it was nice to to see how close I was getting to that construction and everything. Like I said, most of the time I just kept it in the quad mode, which is 3 cameras. And then while we were at the campground, I just took it off of the window over there. I sat it here on our center console, just above, where our radio system is and everything. Used it as an observation, with the blinds down like this. At night, you can't see what's outside. Rather than having to go outside and see what's going on, hey, I had the cameras on and I could basically see anything that was going on, side view, front view. So that was nice. And like I said, guys, we have a video from a couple years ago showing how I installed the Haloview system on our travel trailer. It's a little more in detail. Shows you how I hooked it up to the original Furrion prep system. And if you're interested in seeing that, we'll leave a link up above. You can check that video out. I can't say enough about how much the touchscreen has improved the usability of being able to switch cameras. It's just night and day difference. So if you're interested in picking one of these up, we're going to have a special link down in the description below. You can pick one up. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next adventure video.